Y'all, I'm back in the kitchen today. Today I'm gonna make roast radishes. I want y'all to see my ingredients. I got coconut oil, garlic powder, garlic, pepper, salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. A staple gonna be in all my meals, that onion powder, garlic powder, and garlic pepper. I also have red onion because I still need to use it up. I have some store-bought radishes, and I got my oven preheating to 400. You just heard the buzzer. But I want you to see the star of the show. The star of the show, y'all. These little radishes. This is what came from my garden. That's what I'm using. I'm using my homegrown radishes, and because it wasn't enough to make my parents a meal, I went to the store and I bought these to add to the pot. So what I'm gonna do today is go ahead and get these radishes cleaned up, sliced in this water bath, and then I'm gonna slice up the onion, season it, and put it in my pan that I have in the oven right now, preheating that oil, and we're gonna get this cooked. So I really didn't know I like radishes, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all again about the preservation course I went to in Tarrant County. I went there and they prepared radishes 2 or 3 ways. And I didn't know that I like radishes until I had them roasted. And I started buying radishes at the clearance center in my area. Y'all go check out Town Talk, the clearance center. I try so many different items that I would not normally purchase because the price is so good there. But anyway, I bought a packet of radishes from there after I went to that class and said, I like radishes. I think I like radishes cooked better than I like them raw. That's the issue I was having. But I bought a packet of radishes from the Town Talk, and it had a recipe on it for roasted radishes. Roast the radishes with pancetta. It's pancetta, and then I think it had like a tomato, a sun-dried tomato sauce. Y'all, that was yummy. I've been on radishes ever since. Now I grow them because radishes to me feel like the easiest thing to grow. If it's not the easiest thing to grow, it is the first thing that gets ripe in my garden that I could, have and eat in my season when I'm gardening. So every year I make sure I put radishes down in my garden. And I normally just ferment them, like pickle them, and they're good. I eat them on my sandwiches. I put them on top of my salads. But yeah, do radishes. If you've never tried radishes before, bake them. Once you will roast them. Once you roast them, they take on a nice sweet flavor, not the spicy kick that you get from them when they're raw. Now, these radishes are small. I ain't gonna diss my radishes like I dissed the pomegranates. I had some sizable radishes, but I ate them. I did, just like the big pomegranates that you guys didn't get to see, and then I was mad about the ones that were not as good that came off the tree. So I'm gonna let y'all know. This is just what was left that I pulled up, but every year I put down radishes, and I've discovered new varieties of radishes too that I'll be growing next year. Every year I try to put something new down in my garden. It keeps expanding my knowledge on gardening and let me see and try different stuff. Let's see. I only got all my beautiful heirloom baby radishes from my garden that I planted, prepped up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get these. These are store-bought, y'all. I ain't even gonna play with y'all. Store-bought because I just needed to have enough radishes to make a meal. And make sure you wash your vegetables before you start preparing them. I wash these before I turn the camera on, so I don't keep you guys waiting to watch that step. But now it's up to you how you slice your radishes. You can cube them, you can slice them in half, you can quarter them, however you want. Now I've been watching some chefs too. They make pesto out of the leaves of the radishes. Have any of y'all ever tried that? I like pesto, but I've never made it. I always buy it in the store, and I found it's really good, like on a grilled cheese. Yum. Now I've got my radishes all prepped up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this onion. I'm not gonna use that whole thing of onion. Save it for something else I'm gonna be cooking. Get that skin off. Now I'm gonna slice these onions really thin so they can cook down in the oil. So the food critic don't send it back to the kitchen. All right, now I'll set this to the side. Pull this up. Let me grab that hot pan. I told y'all I had my oven preheated to 400. Now I have this oil in this pan. I'm gonna get my radishes in there. Grab my spatula. Get these radishes coated with that oil. Daddy, you okay?
Oh yeah.
Get those onions in there. I need them onions to stay in the pot. Why they trying to escape? I don't know. Now, I've got all my vegetables coated. I'm gonna go in with Some of this garlic, salt, pepper. Just a little bit, not too much. Then some garlic powder. And some onion powder. Stir this around. Get it all nice and coated. We'll see how I get them face down so they can get caramelized. I'm gonna try to put this side down in the pan so it's sitting in the oil and it crisps up. There's not that much room in this pan, but I'm gonna try to get as many of them down or on the wall of this pan so they cook. I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the oven, y'all. My oven's going off. I'm gonna go ahead and get those radishes out. Now, I'm gonna let you know I had them in the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes. Now, that's gonna vary depending on the oven type that you use. Hear that sizzle? You hear that? I'm gonna go ahead and get these plated up. I wish I had some green to put on top of it. That would be nice. A pop of color. And there we go. Roasted radishes. Let me set that aside. Stop screaming at me. All right. I turn my oven off. Let's see. Here's a fork. Let me grab a fork. Let's see. Because I'm partial to the radishes that I grew in my garden, I'm going to get the tiny radishes that could. Tiny radishes that could with some onions. And I'm going to go ahead and try this out. It's hot, y'all. Straight out the oven. There's a lady, while this cool down, I'm going to tell y'all something. I used to watch a cooking show called Semi Homemade with Sandra Lee. I think it's Sandra Lee, Sandra D, Sandra. Anyway, she'd use some homemade stuff, some effort, some pre-made stuff, and she mixed it all together. And her show was called Semi Homemade. So I'm gonna call this Semi Yard to Table, cause I got my tiny baby heirloom. I'm gonna call them heirloom because they were so tiny. My tiny baby heirloom radishes straight from my garden. But because I didn't have enough to make a meal or a decent side, I went to the store and I bought the big radishes that I showed you guys in the beginning. And that was 1 pound of radishes. That bag was 1 pound. So that's really kind of all you need for 2 people. Or 3. We'll split that up and it'll go nicely. And that onion. I'm going to go ahead and try this. Y'all, it is good. That is so good. What I could add, if I had, was maybe some balsamic vinaigrette. I guess we call balsamic vinaigrette. Yeah. But other than that, this is what I want to eat today. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see what I'm getting into. Bye, y'all.